How is your mojo doing right now? Are you a typical Tigger bouncing into the office every day, really excited about what's in front of you, feeling buoyed up, energetic, constantly ready to go? Or are you finding this a bit of a challenging year and finding that your energy is just that little bit lower than normal? You're finding things a little bit of a struggle and a strain, and you just don't feel like you're quite as on it as you usually are. I know that for a lot of people, this has been an incredibly challenging year. And what I've seen, particularly I think over the last couple of months, is that people's energy is really tailing off. I think, I think we've all worked incredibly hard through the various restrictions and challenges of this year. I think we've hit a point where for many it's starting to feel a bit relentless. And that has a knock-on effect in terms of how we then feel about energy and motivation and focus for our businesses. So I wanted to not kind of skirt around this and not pretend that we're all just in some happy place and that everything is absolutely perfect and wonderful, when for many of us, energy and focus and motivation has been feeling like something of a challenge. I've certainly talked to a few clients over the last couple of months in particular who've really struggled, and people who are used to constantly being the motivator for everybody else. You know, they're always upbeat, they're always positive, they're always excited about what's ahead of them, and they're just feeling really drained. They feel really exhausted, they feel quite low, and then actually end up questioning themselves about the fact that this is very unusual for them. So almost those feelings of unease grow and grow and grow. So if that is how you're feeling, firstly, I wanted to basically say that's totally normal, even more so normal this year than ever before. But if it is how you're feeling, it doesn't mean that that's how things have to stay. What it probably means is that actually you need to take a little bit of a step back and spend a bit more time focusing on you. You probably need to recharge the batteries. Be kinder to yourself, treat yourself well, pamper yourself a little bit, and find some ways to bring back that energy a little bit. So you might want to think about some straightforward things like keeping more of a track of the hours that you're working, especially if you're working from home. It's very easy for that to just bleed all the way through your evenings. It's really easy to get out of bed in the morning, check your mobile for emails or social media, drift into your work day, do loads of work, and then still find you spending lots of time on emails or social media through the evening, and you think you're not really working, but you're still not fully relaxing. So you might just want to take a look at your working hours and set some clearer boundaries and parameters for that. At what times you're willing to check emails or check social media or respond to messages or things like that. And just make sure that you're giving yourself a clearer break daily ideally, but certainly at some point through the week, make sure there's some clear time away from work and all the pressures of that. But you might also want to look at taking the next steps, that if you're feeling really genuine, like you're running on empty, then to keep working is a fruitless exercise. You may well be thinking, I've got so much to do, I can't afford any time off. But actually, the more tired you are, the less you will get done. And you end up, things will take forever, they're dragged out, they're drawn out, and you actually just end up feeling worse and worse and worse. So sometimes you're better off just saying, it's just not happening. I'm going to take a day off, or take a couple of days off, or take a week off. And that time away will help you recharge your batteries in a way that trying to get through the never-ending to-do list will never actually do for you. So look for some ways to treat yourself. Book a nice meal out somewhere if you're allowed in your area. Book a nice meal out somewhere. Think about a nice place in the countryside that you would like to go to. Potentially book yourself a spa day or something like that. Find some time to actually spend a bit more time with, even if that's virtually with friends and family and things like that. But just take that step back. Think about business is not the absolute be all and end all. It shouldn't be totally dominating your life. And sometimes you just need to push it to one side, keep a lid on that box that little bit, Give yourself some time, give yourself that kind of pampering and self-care that you need. And that doesn't have to be going away and doing something fabulous. It could just be taking a few hours off. It might be a Netflix binge with a blanket on the sofa or something like that. But, you know, just totally chilling out, stepping away from work, really finding some of those ways to recharge your batteries. So if your energy is low, if your mojo is struggling a little bit right now, just know that that is totally normal, but also know that you've got the right to do something about it. You don't have to just keep soldiering on. You don't have to be British and just persevere. You know, you've got the right to take a bit of time off, to find some ways, go and do some things that you actually really enjoy, that will uplift your spirit, that will help you to see things in a more positive light, and that will help you come back to the business feeling more focused and more energized. And very often the best thing you can do for your business is actually take a little bit of time away from it. So I'm hoping that's given you a bit of food for thought today. If your mojo is flagging, those are some ideas on how you can give it a little bit of a boost. Maybe you won't not quite get back to Tigger mode straight away, but somewhere on the little path to channeling your inner Tigger. So I hope that's useful. Would love to hear back from you about how you think that this relates to you, and whether there's anything specific that you're doing that is really helping with your energy and motivation in these tricky times. Thank you, folks. Speak to you all soon.